Hey everyone, this is my submission for Dan Savage's It Gets Better project. My name is Vincent, and I'm a 31-year-old gay male living in the suburbs of DC. Woo! Um, I grew up in the eastern shore of Maryland. It's a very small place called Kent Island in between the eastern and western shores of Maryland. And I went to high school in Centerville, which is 30 minutes northeast of there, and it was a high school that was surrounded on three sides by corn. The eastern shore of Maryland is relatively like the country. There's a lot of farms, there's a lot of rednecks, there's a lot of narrow mindedness. People actually took their dates to prom and homecoming in combines and tractors. And we had tractor shows in the lobby. So, just to give you an idea of where I'm coming from. Looking back, I can recall the first time that I was called a faggot was in fifth grade. I was shy. I was a bookworm. I was never really one of those kids who went out actively and like played sports or anything. I hated gym class. Um, because I was shy, I changed in the bathroom stalls in the locker room for gym class. This is what led everyone to call me a faggot. This was fifth grade. I had no concepts of sexual orientation. I had no concepts of who or what I was yet. I was still too young. But that and being shy and being kind of a nerd, it was just kind of like putting a big sign on my head to the rest of my schoolmates that decided to tease me, and I was dubbed faggot in fifth grade. That epithet followed me all the way up until I graduated high school, and things only escalated and got worse. High school and middle school are possibly two of the most traumatizing periods in your life because these are your formative years, but yet it's almost like being thrown to the lions. To anyone out there, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, it does get better, and I know that hearing people in these videos might, make you want to say, well, it's easy for you to say because you're not dealing with it now. You have no idea how bad it is for me. I know because that's how I felt. I didn't have motivational videos. I didn't have YouTube. I didn't have anyone that I could go to. Um, I had friends, but they didn't know what I was going through because I was the only gay man in my school, as far as I was aware, because no one else really, came out. I didn't even come out. I never came out of the closet while I was in high school. It was done for me. They just assumed and made the decision about me. And I never wanted to come out and confirm their suspicions because it would just make my life a hell of a lot worse. But to give you an idea of how my experiences were and how miserable I was, I wanted to kill myself. In high school, I was president of the drama club. I couldn't get a girl to go out with me to save my life, and I didn't want to, but I was desperately trying to get a girl to be my girlfriend so I could have that cover and maybe, get a brief time of release from being called a faggot. Um, but I would get catcalled. I would get knocked downstairs. I would get stuff thrown on me in the lunchroom. I even had the whole shoving my face in a toilet bowl by somebody. I was thrown up against lockers. Uh, I had people threaten to hit me with their cars. I would walk into the bathroom and I'd hear people say, "Oh, here comes the faggot, zip up." Uh, I had some pretty bad experiences and it was miserable. There were days when I woke up and I just didn't want to wake up. I just wanted to die. I was so miserable that I tried to kill myself twice by the time I was 19. Um, because all of those years just made me hate myself so much. I remember, someone pulling a knife at school and twirling it in their hands and saying, "Don't ever come near me, faggot, because if you do, I'm going to kill you." I could have gone to somebody, I could have said something, but they didn't actually try to stab me or try to attack me. They just threatened me. And even still, I was so scared of what would happen that I didn't say anything. And I took the abuse. I took shaving cream being sprayed on my books and my bag and my clothes. I took people destroying the set for my drama club plays when I wasn't there. I took doing assemblies where we would give performances by the drama club and people would call out faggot, cocksucker, when I was on stage in front of the entire school. It was miserable, but the key thing behind this project is it does get better. It sucks. I know it does. And you feel like you are so alone and you feel like you're worthless, but you're not. The first time that I actually felt good about myself was when I hit 18 and I went to a club with my friends. It was a goth club, it wasn't a gay club. We gothed ourselves up. I walked in and I didn't know what to expect. I walked into the club and I had these two girls walk up to me and tell me that I was absolutely beautiful. They wanted my outfit and the other one wanted my body. But she wanted to put her boobs in my body instead and do some kind of weird osmosis. But I didn't know how to react because over the next few weeks, I suddenly was popular. I suddenly met people who wanted to get to know me and who didn't judge me. And that was my first experience is with that was at this club called Tracks where I started going every week. I met these people who didn't call me a faggot, who didn't beat me up, who didn't knock me down. And it was shell shocking to realize that there was life after high school and that it did get better. And since then, I have lived in Seattle, I've lived in various different places, and I can tell you that when you graduate high school, your life is your own. And you're going to suddenly find out that you were inside this like biodome of social hierarchies that outside of it don't mean a thing. People that you went to high school with who treated you like crap, they're miserable people. And I can tell you from personal experience, I've been to my 10-year high school reunion. A lot of these people apologized to me for making my high school years hell. And you think that you wouldn't accept the apology, and I didn't want to, but I did because I forgave them. Because you have to remember as well that high school is miserable for everybody in one way or another. And I'm not saying that it excuses the abuse, because it doesn't. But everyone's miserable in their own way, especially in high school. Um, but I went to my 10-year reunion and a lot of people apologized to me. And I got out of high school and I discovered this whole world at my fingertips that while there were people who would discriminate and there were people who would, harass me, it was nowhere near as constant as when I was in high school. And now at 31 years of age, I have a lovely job that I love beyond belief. I have a large group of friends that span across the country that are like my family. My family supports me 100%. I was lucky when I came out to them that they didn't reject me. I've taken boyfriends home to meet them for dinner, and they treat them as no different than they would if it was a girl. But it does get better. So if you're thinking about hurting yourself, and if you're thinking that your life is over, just remember, the best revenge is to live well. And I don't think that Terry could have said it better. That's the truth. Show them that you're stronger than that. Deal with it. And one day you're going to be able to raise your head high and look back and say, you know what? That which doesn't kill me strengthens me. Because that's what I go by. And that's what got me through it is I dealt with it and I didn't let it destroy me. Because if you let it destroy you, if you try to kill yourself, if you do something to harm yourself in any way, shape, or form, then you're letting them win. So look at it like a revolution. You're going to revolutionize your actions by standing up against them, by being yourself, being true to yourself, not letting them get to you, and realizing that one day you're going to wake up and high school is going to be over. So it does get better. And if you are upset and if you are frustrated, find someone to talk to. There are so many places that you can go online, even anonymously, to talk to people. Hotlines, chat rooms, stuff like that, where you can share your thoughts and you can share your feelings, but don't keep it bottled up. And by all means, do not hurt yourself because it does get better. And one day you'll be able to sit down and make a video saying the exact same thing that I'm doing right now. So stay strong, be yourself, and don't give up.